Tornado
New Haven
warning,
County
past
shortly.
signature.
So this is a wind signature, and let me actually just get a reading here with what we're looking at in terms of how strong these winds are. This is 80 knots. Yeah, I mean, I got 94 miles an hour. Yeah, northern New Fairfield County, you need to take your, oh, there we go, tornado. I was just going to say, Weather Service read my mind. New tornado warning, folks, here now for northern Fairfield County and northern New Haven County for this storm. That signature is ugly. You need to be, if you are in New Fairfield or Sherman or Brookfield or Bridgewater or into Southbury, I need you to be in a safe spot right now from this storm. In addition to a possible tornado, we're talking about winds here that are hellacious down in New Fairfield. I cannot remember seeing a signature like that. Not in Connecticut. Not in Connecticut, that is for sure. That is about as strong as you'll see it. Josh, look at those winds. 116 miles per hour. You don't see that. Wow. Very often. All right, if you're in New Fairfield, if you're in Brookfield, if you're in New Milford, if you're in Bridgewater, you need to be in a safe spot. New Fairfield, Danbury, Brookfield, the northern part of, let's go with all of Bethel, Newtown, Sandy Hook, Southbury, Bridgewater, Roxbury, Woodbury, be in a safe spot. This storm looks more impressive than any of the storms we've seen so far today. This produced a 78 mile per hour wind gust off to the northwest in portions of New York, and this could be producing a tornado at any moment here as this storm moves on through. And this is just, and Ryan, incredible. Let's map this out and let you know where it's headed, because it is heading off to the east northeast. I would say there is a little bit of a northerly trajectory with this system. Trying to get another. You can come over to the weather. The winds are so strong. I can do it here right now, Josh, for you. The winds are so strong. It's actually giving our radar program. I jumped over to Albany because of a bit of a problem here. So there you go. Moving to the east, you've got your possible tornado and very powerful winds. I think we're going to see a lot of damage from this storm. This is a pretty classic looking signature. Heritage Village in Southbury, 458. Brookfield right about now. Southford, 503. Oxford, 506. Northern Fairfield County, northern New Haven County, we've got that tornado warning in effect. Very, very powerful looking signature here that's moving into portions of northern Fairfield County, just to the north of Danbury. So the northern part of Newtown right now, right along the Housatonic River, we're talking about winds that could be approaching 100 miles an hour. That is some very, very powerful winds. And when you get winds this strong, you also have a rotational signature here as well that you've got to be concerned about. So this is now what? 1, 2, 3. This is our fourth tornado warning of the day. There is your rotational signature. I think the damaging wind threat might be a little larger than the tornado threat, but if it's 100 miles an hour from straight line winds or 100 miles an hour from a tornado, it doesn't matter. Those are trees that are falling on your house. That's how strong these winds are in Brookfield. And so now Bridgewater, the southern part of Bridgewater, and also now into portions of, so we've got Bridgewater and the northern portions of Newtown, and then heading out here towards Southbury. So this is north of 84, right along the Housatonic River. That's where we've got some really, really nasty conditions, and this will be heading to the east. This is a very, very significant, very serious damaging signature, and the potential is here. When you have a signature like that, there is the potential for some high-end damage and even a tornado. So you could see in a swath that's maybe a mile or two wide of substantial damage with trees down, and we're talking about winds that may be strong enough to take a roof off a house. That's how strong these winds are, and we don't say that. I've been standing in this green screen for 13 years here on NBC Connecticut, and I've never said the wind is strong enough to take the roof off a house. This one could do it in Brookfield right now, and this is heading out toward Bridgewater and Southbury. So again, if you're in Southbury right now, you need to be in a spot. You need to be in a basement or a small interior room. I need you to stay away from windows. Don't go outside. If you've got plans in the next 5-10 minutes from Waterbury on west, postpone them, cancel them. Do not venture outside. Yeah, what do you got, Josh?
We're getting some photos of some major straight line wind damage out in New Fairfield. So
in New Fairfield, okay.
Turn this around and show you guys here in a second, but we are getting confirmation. There is some very strong winds.
Okay, so this is a situation that these are the kinds of storms that you need to be very concerned about. And I'm going to put another storm track on so we can track these as they move out. So we've got, and let's make sure we've got a crew heading out that way towards Southbury. If we can just, Brooke, if we can make sure we're doing that. So this is a signature that has us worried for a possible tornado.
And Ryan, I have that photo and tag board if you want to pull that full.
Yeah, if we can we just can we throw up tag board full? We don't need. Yeah,
We're supposed to be here
wind damage.
10 minutes before the game.
See, I just snapped a couple feet up from
Guess
the
who it is?
For
Nick.
sure. And that, I mean,
Put
that
you
right
on.
there, I mean, that's a classic signature that, you know, we're dealing with. We're seeing it on radar. But we're also seeing the ground truth here. And this was just sent in approximately 2 minutes ago.
I got a new tornado warning now for southern Litchfield County for this storm. So that same storm in Brookfield that's moving into Southbury.
And Ryan, this is still producing on radar at approximately 4,000 feet. Winds over 75 miles per hour to even 100 miles per hour. Now, is all of that mixing down to the surface? Well, some of these photos are kind of confirming that that's happening. And we're also seeing some reports, major damage in New Fairfield. This is from a tweet, Andrew Mara. Power out, transformers have blown there. So confirmation coming in that this system is the real deal.
Yeah, you need to be in a safe spot right now. If you're in Southbury, this is not a joke. This is a very serious situation. Bridgewater over toward Woodbury, down into Southbury, the northern part of Newtown. You should be preparing for a tornado. Whether or not it's a tornado or straight line winds of 100 miles per hour does make a difference. If the winds are 100 miles per hour, if they're spinning around or if they're just blowing straight at you, it still does the same amount of damage. Southbury 458, Woodbury 459,
Chief Meteorologist Ryan Hammer. Starting to get a couple breaks of sun out there. Here's a look outside in Windsor Locks, where it certainly is quite a bit brighter than it was. We still have some clouds out there. As we go through the evening hours, I think we will see a little bit of clearing. However, we do have an issue later on tonight. That's going to be some fog that'll be rolling in off the sound. Parts of Connecticut last night got a tremendous amount of rain. I was actually surprised this morning when I got up and I looked at some of the observations from the night before. We had some heavy downpours that moved in from the Atlantic Ocean right over Long Island and up into the state. And eastern Connecticut especially saw nearly 2 inches of rain. Canterbury just shy of 2 inches. Essex about 1 2/3. Prospect about half an inch. Same in Plainville, and about 1/3 of an inch in Winstead. So eastern Connecticut saw quite a bit of water last night. Tonight it will not be as wet, although it will be foggy in some spots. Locked up, the radar is tracking some showers, maybe a thunderstorm trying to develop here just to the north of Summers. As we go through the evening hours, I think we'll see a couple of these sprinkles and showers, but many of us will dry out tonight. Here's one such shower. We had a pretty good downpour at the station here in West Hartford. Now this is moving up it's actually right over Avon Mountain, about to cross over 44. And that should continue to head north into portions of Bloomfield and Simsbury. So things tonight a little unsettled, at least right now. Some showers and storms to the north, some showers to the south, but we are drying things out. We're getting the clouds to break a little bit locally, so I'm a little bit optimistic for the next few hours that we'll get a bit of clearing, a bit of sunshine. But then by later on tonight,